So today I wanted to make a quick video on how to install Ubuntu Server in a virtual machine. This is actually the exact same as installing it on a normal PC, but the virtual machine will let us be able to experiment and try a bunch of different things without actually having to reinstall a bunch of times. So first thing you'll need is the Ubuntu Server ISO, and you can get it here at the website. They have this weird menu, and I guess I'm just stupid because it took me a second to find the actual ISO download, but you download it here. You also need VirtualBox. Getting those set up is extremely easy, and there are plenty of other videos that show you how to do it. So let's go ahead, and once you're in, you're just going to hit new, and we'll just name it Ubuntu Server. You can pick any amount of RAM. I would suggest no more than half what you actually have, but this is going to be a small machine, so we'll just leave it at a fourth. Create the virtual hard disk. Check VDI. And dynamically allocate it. And I'm just going to leave it at 10 right now because we're not going to be installing too much. I'm really just going to be installing Samba for a later video. Okay, so now you have it here. What you're going to want to do is go into the settings and come down to network. And you want to change it to a bridged adapter. And all that means is you're going to be able to access like the rest of your network from the virtual machine. So it bridges your connection from the VirtualBox to the actual computer network you have on your host OS. And then you're going to also want to add the ISO. So you can hit the plus there. And I already have it downloaded, so we'll do Ubuntu Live Server. Of course, choose it, hit OK, and click Start. And it should pop up with this window. If you're installing this on an actual, just disregard those error messages. If you're installing this on an actual computer by itself, like say you want to run like a headless server for your house or something, Ubuntu Server automatically logs like any possible device on your machine. So like a CD-ROM player or a floppy disk player, if you even have one of those, tries to use it as possible storage. So you might see this one error message. It says like block.io dev F0. That's it trying to access your floppy disk, and it can't find it because no one uses that anymore. And I'll go over that a little later in the video, how to get rid of that. But first, you want to choose English if you're English. I tried this new installer, and it gave me errors finding my storage devices. So I just go with the regular. You can try it if you want, but I haven't had success. And of course, you want your languages. It'll automatically pick up your Ethernet. I don't use a proxy. We're just going to download from the Ubuntu mirror. And then I deselect this setup disk as LVM group, because you can see over here it uses a lot of storage being a part of this LVM group. You can't see my mouse. But if you go back and deselect it, you're able to just use the total amount of storage that you have set up, and it doesn't take up any more for that LVM group. So I deselect that and then hit done and then hit continue. Now this is where you want to set up your first user. So I just use, my first name. We'll just call the server test or something like that. And then the username, it's usually a good idea to keep it the same as the name. And then of course set a password. Okay. And then done. If you want to install OpenSSH, you can. So like if you actually were setting this up on a real machine and you wanted to log into the machine from a different computer, you know, that's something you'll need, but we're not going to need it. I don't use any of these snaps, so just go ahead and hit done. It'll start configuring it for you. Shouldn't take too long, and I think I'll probably put a little skip in the video and jump to where it's installed. Okay, so once you hit this point, you can either let it automatically update or cancel update and reboot. I'm just going to do that because we'll run the updates ourselves, and you can see how to do that and keep your server updated so you have all the security that you need. So I'll jump to the next cut because it usually you can either force a reboot here or you can wait and let it reboot itself. Choice is yours. I'm going to jump to where we've rebooted. And actually here, what we're going to do is we're going to power off the machine. And then what we're going to do is we have to come into the settings real quick. Go to storage, and then we want to delete this so that it just starts up on the server and not the downloaded ISO. All right. Everything seems to be running good. Getting a bunch of OKs. There we go. Or hit Control C and get rid of all that. Okay. Boom. You're logged in now. So once you're logged in, you're going to want to update by running that command. And I'll have everything you need in the description. These aren't hard though. Then once you update, you want to upgrade. Oh, I forgot. What you'll have to do is run this command it tells you to, and just configure there we go. The man pages, of course, and then run, and then hit yes. And then this is updating your package manager, all your packages, security updates, everything like that. This can take a little bit. So when this is done, I'll make another jump and we can see some stuff that the server has set up. Okay. Okay, welcome back. So everything's updated, everything's looking good. One thing we want to check is, let's see, you want to check your dev folder that's for devices and see if you can find an F0. Of course, you could grep for it, but if you can't find one, you don't have, I think it's FD0. If you can't find that device, then you shouldn't have to worry about this next thing I'm going over, and you should be completely set up. Okay, so some issue you might run into is the floppy disk module is installed, but you don't have a floppy drive, you know, because no one does. And if it is installed, what's going to happen is Ubuntu Server is going to try and access it and use it for device storage and stuff like that. So what you want to do is run these three commands. And when I installed this on my other machine, you know, and had this issue, I think these are out there on Stack Overflow somewhere, but or Ask Ubuntu. But you can see I don't have a floppy disk module in there, so I don't have to worry about this. But you'd run that, then you'd want to run this. These will all be in the description, of course. And the last one is reconfiguring. Here we go. Your package manager. There you go. And once you do this, you shouldn't have that error message pop up anymore. And then you're good to go. You have a server running in a virtual machine, and this one that we have with the abridged adapter, you can actually use it and access it from other machines on your network. So the next couple of videos will be using this server for a bunch of different stuff, and this is a great starting point. So thanks for watching. Look forward to more videos.